call Ya Inai at Prime this past weekend. She crushed it. I went to go see her because she impressed me at the trunk or treat event right before the election. My shirt's always going to one side. Why is it? Um, and she impressed me. I don't know if it hurt her feelings or not that I say she reminded me of Meg Thee Stallion. I know sometimes people would tell me you sound like Big Sean or Kanye West or Eminem, Mick Jenkins, whatever when you rap. I don't take offense to it necessarily, but uh, that's one thing that you kind of got to watch out for when you're writing about artists is comparing them to others. Anyway, she was impressive, and I like how she dances and uses a full stage when she performs. You can catch that in her music video for time lapse too. And she did some album music and then a single, and so got to hear what's coming up, and it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to hear it. It's coming out soon, so let me know when that drops. And the other performers are decent. There was a lot of the boys club stuff on stage where it's like a bunch of dudes who get up there, or one performer get up there and bring 10 guys with them, and then they just never get off the stage, or they just kind of stick around and wait for the twerker situation, wait for the one female woman in the crowd to start twerking, and then everyone gathers around with their phones and starts recording it. And then the show kind of, it gets weird because then you have the performer up there just kind of like rapping at this dancer, yop 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 yop, bow 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 bow. And that happens. I love the twerking, love the dancing, love the cheeks, all the claps. It's great. But yeah, there was some of that, and the show started late again. I have to remember to just come a half hour, an hour late now to these shows because there's just no chance it started on time. None of these hip hop shows have started on time so far since I've been here. Zero of them. So go a half hour, an hour late, I'd recommend as far as what I've seen so far. Yeah, otherwise the show was cool. There was some strange animosity coming from someone next to me towards Ya Inai came with a friend, Bliss or Blessing, something like that, and she was fire. I loved her performance too. Reminded me of Dej Loaf, if I could say that. Some singing and rapping in there, that melodic style rapping. And it was pissing me off. There was this woman at a table next to me, and she just looking off to the side, couldn't even look at the stage when she was doing it, but she just started yelling, gay, 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 when this performer was up there. And I never seen anything like that. J-Dub, I believe, is another one of the female performers. Great job. I like your friend with the camel pants. And yeah, it was smoke in the air. It was a good time. Lots of dancing. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. Yeah, and otherwise, my album's coming out too. I started dropping these punch-in sort of tracks yesterday. I recorded 3 of them in one day. They're not freestyles, but they don't take long to record because it's just recording one line and then going back in and recording another one, and then going back in and recording another one. That's the punch-in method, and a lot of artists that do that now because it doesn't require much effort. You don't need to write any lyrics. It just requires the cooperation from the producer to sit there and, okay, go, stop. All right, go, stop. Go, stop. Go, stop after every line. Like, it'll be, you're recording each song line by line, or sometimes it's just like a word that they'll throw in there. Okay, one word, start, stop. Next word, start, stop. Next word, start, stop. It's kind of silly, but if you know how to produce like I do, know how to mix and things like that, generally, you really don't need much knowledge, like not even as much as I have. All you need to know is just how to record in music editing software, and you could do the punch-in method and record a rap. It's not that difficult. Side note, I don't have herpes. That's a scar. And Yeah, so my album's coming out soon. I've been dropping those sort of freestyle type cuts just to keep myself rapping because I know my rap chords. It's funny, I dropped those and they're getting more likes on SoundCloud than some of my singles, and they've only been out there for a day or so. I'm gonna keep doing that. I know folks like me rapping, and that's originally, what you fell in love with, the Coastie song, and Teach Me How to Bucky and that stuff. So I'm gonna keep going with that. I just love the singing, and I think it adds a lot of depth to my music. And I'm gonna continue doing these Midwest soul orchestral kind of mashup beats. Just each one's different, but I love the piano, I love guitar, and dynamic drums. Like can't be the same pattern over and over. So something like that, but then also the dance beats. I want to get in this bow and yop yop type music in Milwaukee too, and so that's what I've been recording. I'm getting closer to perfectly identifying this style of music that I've been talking about too. So my latest development, video games. It reminds me of video games, this style. So it's dance, video games, claps. And yeah, really blown out 808s. So really blown out 808s, video game or 1990s style samples from movies, 80s, 90s. And yeah, like trap drums and stuff like that. We're getting closer to figuring it out. I've just been perusing these beats on YouTube now, because now you see Milwaukee type beats on YouTube. That's a good sign that there's really something big about to happen with the Milwaukee music scene, is we got the type beats. There's artists really popping out. Chicken P is huge. And what's her name? It moved to Atlanta. A lot of folks moved to Atlanta, it seems, from Milwaukee to get their record deals. Someone was telling me the other day, though, no, it's more Texas. And I don't really know a big Milwaukee artist that's gone from Milwaukee to Texas. But anyway, I don't know everyone. And I keep up with more so the dance and lyrical artists, not the trap, like crack dealer, heroin dealer, fentanyl dealer, meth dealer people. So maybe that's more Atlanta, Milwaukee than Texas, Milwaukee. Something like, you're going to Texas so that you can make more crack or something. Get the cocaine from Mexico to make more crack or something. I don't know. But yeah, my album's coming out soon. Not funded by crack or heroin or meth or fentanyl or any of that shit, or abuse or bigotry. So yeah, it's gonna be very nice, Clifton style. This album's clean, like I said. But the freestyles are not like I have a potty mouth or whatever. I don't restrict myself from using certain words as much as possible. So the beats that I'm just kind of going in on with the punch-in sort of method, it's gonna be wild. I did 3 of them in one day yesterday, so I plan on doing a lot of those. And I have 20 some tracks I got queued up to upload to Spotify. So finally, I have something on there, but I'm trying to get it all under like one name and everything. So really doing that. It's kind of envious seeing all the Spotify raps from the artists in Milwaukee. It's cool, seeing everyone really taking off with their music and getting all those plays on Spotify. It's exciting. And I want to be doing that too. So yeah, Spotify coming real soon. I literally have them up right now. They just rejected a couple of them because you can't put the album cover art for singles from that album, which I sort of knew, but I wanted to try anyway. So not all of them gonna have a perfect cover art, but whatever. The most important thing that the music is up there at this point. So working on that, real exciting. It's a great mix, man. We got hopefully, if all these go through, Blacklight City, I'm Bopped, Vacation from My Mind, Fit Thick, Gateway Recovery, Travel Light, Bigger Than Me. So just a mix of these different styles I've been going through over the years. And then it'll be pretty much this entire album that I'm working on now. So look out for that. I'll be sharing a link to the Clifton profile, the correct Clifton profile eventually. And yeah, I really appreciate your follows. Gonna need to build that up. So I'm not gonna be starting a TikTok. No, not gonna be starting a Snapchat or whatever other apps are out there that are pretty much the same. There's something else already exists in this place, like Instagram for photos, video for YouTube, website for writing, Twitter for short thoughts. Anyway, yeah, TikTok and Facebook are just kind of gross in general too. But so are they all. Restricting myself there a little bit to try to keep myself active on social media and all the platforms, and not trying to get too drug into the brain rot or death scrolling and that kind of thing, which is just, that's what Snapchat and Facebook and TikTok are, just death scrolling, mindless, dumb shit. With that, album coming out, Yanai, great job. More shows and more music coming soon.
Always wanting more. Just need 3 bitches floating around and have a horse. I ain't wanna show my hand, I just fucked around and forced me. Rolling back rules, back to back, that shit endorse me. I'm the money getting niggas, bitches on my head. Now I got the time today, so it's bitches on my spin. Get my life like a movie, come and see how I'm living. Feeling like the main character, the realest nigga in it. Hey, my brother's not a sinner, for it winning, he was winning. Before I trick up on these bitches, rather send it to my niggas. Before I trick up on these bitches, rather spend it on
stung me like a serpent. I do as I please, you do what you can. So tell me, is it really worth it? Tell me, is it really working? Like the sex with the working. I can buy my own Birkin and straight shit like a merchant.